This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
If your roof starts to leak or your floor's really squeaky, you live in a money pit. Money pit.
If your basement needs a pump or your place looks like a dump, you live in a money pit. Money pit. Pick up the telephone.
Fix up your home sweet home by calling 888-MONEY-PIT.
The Money Pit is presented by Ladera by Pavestone. Now here's Leslie Segretti.
Coast to coast and floorboards to shingles, this is the Money Pit. I'm Leslie Segretti, and I'm joined as always by Jim Kenzie, the best producer and rock band man in the home improvement biz. How you doing, Jim?
Nice plug, Les. I appreciate that. I'm doing great. I had some summer gigs kind of winding down now that we're in fall. I've got one more outdoor gig this weekend.
Oh, I love that. Please tell me that there's like a Halloween party somewhere that you're playing.
Oh, we'll be doing plenty of those here, about another week or two for that.
I love it. Will you be dressed like a werewolf or something fun?
Actually, I think I'm going to have my buddy's daughters coming with us, and she's going to dress up like Little Red Riding Hood, and I'm taking my German Shepherd and dressing her up like Grandma Wolf.
That's awesome.
It's going to be cute.
Oh, that's really great. I love that. You know, this is just such a fun time of year. And we're like fully into the swing of spooky season here at my Money Pit. We've got the 12-foot skeleton and all the pumpkins that the squirrels can feast on. Ooh. I mean, seriously, though, I'm going to tell you guys how you can keep those squirrels and other critters from eating your decor this hour. I feel like by the time Halloween has rolled around, I think I'm usually on like round 4 of pumpkins. But when I follow my own advice, maybe I only get to round 2 to Halloween. So we've got a lot of stuff to cover. So is that fuzzy stuff that you're seeing in your shower? Is that mildew? Is it something more serious? Maybe it's the kids forgetting to clean up. Who knows? We're going to share how you can tell the difference between mold and mildew and what you can be doing before it takes over your entire home. And fall, Halloween, all the great stuff, and you just spent all your time and your money setting up that perfect fall porch. You've got hay bales, pumpkins, mums, and just when you're ready to admire it with a pumpkin spice latte, bam, the squirrels, the raccoons, they show up for a snack. So I'm going to share some of my favorite tried and true and animal-friendly ways to keep those critters from turning your fall decor into their favorite buffet. And this fall, you know, fall is the perfect season for cozy projects, but it's also prime time for scammers who are looking to cash in on unsuspecting homeowners. From fake chimney sweeps to shady furnace checkups, these cons can cost you thousands before you even know what hit you. And I feel like I've been seeing more of these popping up on social media, so I kind of wanted to share this. I'm going to walk you through the red flags that you should be watching out for and the top scams that are making the rounds this season and the smart steps that you can take to protect yourself and your wallet. But we can't be the Money Pit without you, so let us help you with all of your home improvement questions. Give us a call right now at 888-MONEY-PIT. Jim, who's up first?
Before we get to the phones, Leslie, that 12-foot skeleton you have.
Yeah.
Is it real?
I mean, from a giant, yeah. It's real from the Home Depot.
It's real from a 5-year-old's perspective. Yes, it is.
It's so enormous. I love it so much. I do, you know, it's like I could have bought it like 5 times over because I rent it from my landscaper, but I don't have space for it. So, you know,
gotcha. I
love it.
Okay, according to the list I see on the screen here, Leslie, we're going to Rochelle Gutierrez. Is that correct?
No. I think that says Rochelle Gutters.
Okay, yeah. About time to get these glasses checked, do you think?
Yeah, I got my new ones on, so I could see that one pretty good. Large font.
And you look great in them, by the way. I saw a video of you on moneypit.com and went, wow, what a babe.
Oh, did you see me also get my flu shot on GMA the other morning?
I did not.
Listen, any chance to get a free flu shot without having to go to the pharmacy, they came right to me. I was like, I'll go first.
If I'm up at that time, it's work.
Well, I'm going to send you some new glasses because clearly Rochelle Gutierrez is not next.
Rochelle, I'm sorry for making you
Could you imagine if her last name really is that? She's like, how did you know?
All right. So, Rochelle, you don't have to give your last name on the air, but could you hold afterwards? And we have an office pool going. We just have to. How can we help out?
I need to have work done on my fascia board and replace 1x6 wrap with the facial material, remove the old gutter, and put the new gutter on. The contractor wants to charge me $1,300, and that would include the parts and the labor. I really would appreciate getting your opinion.
Well, I mean, it's kind of hard to say, Rochelle, if that's the right price, because it's not just the price we need. It's the length. It's the complexity. You know, we're talking about the kind of work here. Is it a 2-story roof? Is it a more difficult job? The more difficult, harder that job is, the higher the price, perhaps. You are talking about removing and replacing fascia, replacing the gutter. So it is a good chunk of work, even though it seems like it's a small section. So $1,300 doesn't sound too terrible for the job, unless it's like, a baby section, like 3 feet. But, it's kind of a good idea to just compare everything. You just have to kind of look at the true cost of it. You can maybe even just go to Angie. If you head on over to Angie.com, which is sort of a home advisor company, and you can search there the cost of projects. You can say, I need X amount, a length of fascia and gutter repaired and fixed, whatnot. It's aluminum. I want to put wood on top of that, wood, fascia, aluminum gutter, and then find out. It could be like, well, that's $20 a foot, or whatever it is. But my gut's telling me that's not a terrible price, but get another bid, check online, compare, quotes that you're generating yourself, and that will help you without knowing every detail of the project. I can't say like, that's terrible. My gut's telling me not so bad. All right, but definitely a project you should be doing. All right, Rochelle Gutierrez with your gutters. Thanks so much for calling us at 888 Money Pit.
Oh, come on, Leslie. Let me do my announcer voice. Please, Leslie, please.
Okay, do it.
Go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Good job, Jimmy.
All right, Leslie. Now we've got Andrew, who's looking to relax in style in a hot tub. Ooh.
Sounds pretty great, Andrew.
Yeah, tell us about it, Andrew.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I'm looking to build a ground level floating deck off the back of my house in order to put an inflatable hot tub on it. And I was curious if Trex decking is good for that, or if I'd have better luck with a traditional pressure treated. And is there any other special reinforcements I should do to hold the extra weight of something like a hot tub?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty interesting here. You could potentially have both building materials. You need to really, because the wood is a structure that holds the decking up, and the top of that is what you see, and that's decorative, and that could be Trex. And of course, it's a great material to use as decking, especially a deck with a hot tub, because it's not going to wear, it's not going to fade, it's going to stand up to all of the things that sort of go along with a hot tub, the extra water, the moisture, the heat, the chemicals, all of it. Do you need extra support? I think that really depends. You probably could use some extra support. Hot tubs are super heavy, and it's not just so much the tub that's heavy itself. It's the water. Let's say you have a hot tub. Maybe it's one of those inflatable hot tubs, and it can hold up to 6 people, and it's about maybe 2,400 pounds of water, because it's generally 8 pounds per gallon. So if you do the math, that's going to end up being 2,400 pounds. So that's over a ton of weight just in the water alone. So you have to make sure that your deck can hold that. And a traditional deck built to hold just the decking isn't going to do it. So you do really have to beef it up. The other option is to not build the deck for the hot tub, but build a deck around the hot tub and then use a patio to hold the deck, which would be supportive too. But definitely Trex is a great decking surface. You can also use it for the railings. It's beautiful. It's durable. It's going to stand up to everything it has to offer. But I think in terms of structure, it has to be built sturdy, and it has to be able to provide support for the amount of weight, especially the water weight in the hot tub that you're looking at. And that's everything is made out of pressure treated lumber there. So you have to make sure that it is structurally sound for all of that additional weight. But once you've got this built, lucky duck, get in there and enjoy. And if it's anything less than 104, we're going to have problems.
104. That's perfect.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Hey, you're tired of living in a money pit? Well, we're here to help. And if you want us to help out, it would be awesome if you could leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Just go to moneypit.com/review. It's only going to take a minute, and it means the world to us. Well, fall is filled with lots of chores, but one of the easiest ways to avoid big headaches this fall is to clean your gutters. Yeah, it's not glamorous, but it's totally essential. You know, when those gutters fill up with leaves and twigs and all of that debris, they kind of just stop directing the water away from your house, and instead they start sending that water right where you don't want it. And that can mean water overflowing into your siding, seeping into the foundation, or even flooding the basement. So before the leaves really start to pile up, grab a ladder and some gloves. You're going to want them. Or hire a pro, either way. If you're not into climbing, because you will be on that ladder doing some work. You want to make sure that your downspouts are clear. And if you're in an area with a lot of trees, maybe you want to consider installing gutter guards. They're not going to eliminate the cleaning completely, but they can definitely reduce how often you have to do it. It's a simple chore that can save you thousands of dollars in repair bills. It's definitely worth a Saturday morning, as long as you don't have soccer. All right, Jim, who do we have on the line?
We're heading out to Georgia, Leslie. We've got Gail on the line with a wasp situation. Ooh, what's going on, Gail?
We have a lot of insects and reptiles and all kinds of things in this tropic climate. But the thing that is worse is the mud daubers that build their nests on the side of your house. And we're just constantly fighting that. And my question is there a way to eliminate that problem?
Well, I mean, maybe not completely eliminate it, but I would say there are some really good wasp traps out there. There's one by a company called Rescue. I mean, it's ironic because they're rescuing you and not the wasp. But basically, it's kind of a fancy sticky trap, and it doesn't look like a trap, but there are definitely a lot of wasps pending. And, you could have just been dealing with it because it's the end of the summer season into fall where you really start to see them. And I learned that the reason why they're more aggressive at this time of year is because they've already mated, but yet for some reason the males are still thinking that it's mating season, and they're just super aggressive and they're looking for their partners. And in fact, when we were up in Vermont a couple weekends ago, sort of bridging the summer fall season, we saw a wasp at night. And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen a wasp out at night. And in doing some research, I learned that we were probably near their nest and they were returning home, but they were attracted to the light and the fire and the grilling. And so they kind of became aggressive, thinking we were either a threat or thinking we were something they could mate with. And so I was shocked to see a wasp at night. But the traps are, sadly, they're not friendly. They're not coming out of it. But I think it's kind of the best way to sort of deter them from coming around. Now, you can also start reducing the populations a bit by just kind of putting out things that the wasps don't like a strong-smelling plant or an oil like peppermint or lemongrass. I don't think they like geranium or clove either.
Just on the house?
No, you can spray it where you see the nest form and they kind of go away, and you can kind of spray it around the areas where you're hanging out in the yard to deter them from coming around. I mean, wasps are very territorial. They typically come back to that same area every year. So if you start to see that, you'll know where to spray, and maybe you can do that in advance of them showing up, and maybe they'll start to form new habits. But they are aggressive suckers, and they definitely, I really don't think they want to get you, but boy, does it feel like they want to get you.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, but try some of those tricks there, and you'll see that the population should dwindle, Gail. And once it gets cold enough, you're not going to see them again.
Till next year.
Thank you.
Well, one of the questions we get all the time here at the Money Pit, especially during a rainy fall season, is how can I tell if this is mold or mildew? And it is a great question because while they're both types of fungi, yeah, you're a fun guy.
I'm a lot of fun.
Jim, I didn't know you were a mushroom. But anyway, because mold and mildew are both a fungus, the way you deal with them, though, is totally different. Now, one's annoying. The other could be serious to your health and cause some structural hazards. So today we're going to break it down. We're going to share what's what, where it shows up, how to get rid of it, and what to do to bring it back in. Now, let's start with what you see. Now, mildew is going to be the less threatening of the two. It generally looks flat and powdery. It can be white, gray, even a light yellow. You're going to find it in damp, humid spots, the corner of a shower, the bathroom ceiling, or maybe that musty corner of your basement. And the mildew kind of stays on the surface. So if you spot it early, you can usually clean it up with a good scrubbing and a mold and mildew cleaner. Now, mold is kind of a different beast. It's darker. It can be black. It can be green, even reddish, and it has a fuzzy or a slimy texture. It can grow on your walls, your ceilings, fabric, wood, insulation, pretty much anywhere that can be damp and poorly ventilated. And here's the problem. Mold doesn't like to just stay on the surface. It can actually start to dig in deep, and once it gets into those porous materials like drywall or carpeting, it is very difficult to get rid of. Now, let's talk about what you're smelling, because mold doesn't always show up where you can see it. Now, if you walk into a room and you get sort of this like musty, earthy smell that doesn't go away, that's a red flag. Even if you don't see the mold, you might have it growing behind the wall, under the flooring, inside the insulation. And mildew generally doesn't have that much of a smell, but mold absolutely does. And beyond the ick factor of it all, mold can be a real health issue, especially for people who have asthma or allergies or any sort of respiratory condition. It can cause coughing, sneezing, sinus problems, a whole lot more. If you've got symptoms that clear up when you leave the house, you could have a mold problem. That's why identifying it quickly and taking action is super important. Now, if the area is small, maybe under 10 square feet, and it's on a non-porous surface like a tile or a glass surface, you can generally clean it yourself. You want to wear gloves. You want to use a proper cleaning solution. Remember, never mix bleach with ammonia. It could kill you. And ventilate the space very, very well. You want to scrub it, rinse, and dry it thoroughly. But if it's a larger area, or if you suspect it's spread into the drywall or into the carpeting or the HVAC system, or if someone in your house is showing symptoms, definitely call in a pro. Mold remediation specialists know how to isolate the area, remove the contaminated materials, and make sure it doesn't come back. And finally, let's talk about prevention, because this is where you can really stay ahead. You want to use a dehumidifier in damp areas of your home, so like a basement or the laundry room. You want to run your bathroom exhaust fan during and after your shower. If you have a leak, you want to fix it fast, whether it's a roof leak, a plumbing issue, or a window that just lets in moisture. And also keep an eye out for condensation on windows or pipes. That is a sign of excess humidity. So bottom line is that mildew is mostly cosmetic and easy to wipe out. Mold, you've got to take it seriously. And if you're not sure what you're dealing with, or if you want some more info, you can check out the mold and mildew guide at houselogic.com. They've got a great breakdown of how to spot it, treat it, and when you should be calling in a pro. Because whether it's mold or mildew, the sooner you know what you're dealing with, the easier it is to keep your home safe, dry, and healthy. All right, that is my public safety announcement for this hour. Well, for fall, that's right, I'm from Long Island, everybody. Did you know that?
Fall is here.
Fall is here, and we're going to go to the mall, and we're going to start our holiday shopping. No, but I really do sometimes talk like that. And you guys know it because I talk like that when I'm tired. But in all seriousness, guys, it's fall. So before the frost rolls in, let's take some time to give your patio furniture a proper send-off for the season. I mean, a lot of people kind of just stack it in the garage and call it a day. But if you don't clean it up first, you're kind of inviting that mold and mildew we talked about getting rid of to just party on that furniture all winter long. And that's yuck. So let's start by brushing off the loose dirt, the leaves. Then you can use a mild soap and water solution to just kind of wipe everything down, the cushions, the frames, the tabletops, the works, and let it dry completely. For your cushions now, that might mean leaving them out in the sun for a bit. Moisture, again, is your enemy here. And if possible, store your furniture indoors. Maybe you have a shed, the basement, the garage. If not, invest in some quality furniture covers that are breathable, but also water resistant. Take care of this now, guys, so that when it's springtime, you can just kind of go whoop, whip off that cover and just get right to relaxing, not scrubbing.
At Sierra, discover top workout gear at incredible prices, which might lead to another discovery. Your headphones haven't been connected this whole time. Awkward. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu? Is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
Well, there's something about fall decor that makes everything feel cozy and festive until you come outside and you see that your pumpkins have been chewed through and your mums have been dug up. Squirrels, chipmunks, raccoons, even deer. They're all huge fans of your ability to decorate for the fall season. They love it. They think it tastes good, and they think it looks pretty great while they're eating it. So how do you protect those pumpkins without going full scarecrow mode? So let's walk through what works, what doesn't, and how to keep your front steps from turning into that animal kingdom snack bar. First of all, why the heck do they love pumpkins so much? I mean, they're soft, they're sweet, they're packed with moisture. Basically, it's a perfect treat for all animals who are trying to bulk up for the winter season. So once one little nibble starts, they're going to be like, ooh, I like that, and keep coming back for more. Even those decorative corn stalks, the hay bales, flowers like a pansy or a mum becomes part of this sort of seasonal feast. So prevention is the name of the game. And it all starts with being just a little sneakier than your average squirrel. And one of the easiest things that you can do is to use a natural repellent spray. And you can buy them at any garden center, or you can make your own using these ingredients. Like the first one is good. It's water, hot sauce, and a drop of dish soap. Another option is water, garlic, and cayenne pepper. You can even use peppermint oil diluted in water. The only thing here is, guys, you want to give those pumpkins and the decor a good spray down, kind of in the evening when the critters are most active, but you have to remember to reapply it after the rain. It's not going to just magically stay there. You've got to keep reapplying it. And then it really does the trick. That's the thing. I sort of give up. So at first it's great. And then like 2 weeks and I'm like, meh, they can't want my pumpkins now, but they do. And they come back and they keep testing. So keep spraying. Now you can also rub those pumpkins with white vinegar, or this does work too, a generous coating of petroleum jelly. Both create a scent or a texture there that the animals hate. And if your local wildlife is especially bold, you might just want to consider swapping in those faux pumpkins for the real ones. I mean, they're not the best. They do look pretty great. And boy, do they keep the cost down year after year, especially when I buy like 4 sets of pumpkins. But the faux ones are wonderful. They are still festive, and the animals just won't be as interested. I did have a squirrel steal a fake pumpkin one year and kind of ditch it halfway up the block.
Hey, wait, what the heck's this?
Hey, this isn't right. So think about it. Mix in the faux with the real. You can use decoys like painted rocks or pine cones or dried corn that's been sealed. The animals are smart, but they're not that smart. So try placing the pumpkins in planters or on stands. Get them up off the ground. Just make it a little bit harder for those smaller critters to reach them. You can also use natural deterrents like sprinkling cinnamon or cloves around the display. Again, reapply after the rain or a windy day. A lot of animals just don't like that smell. And bonus, you do. Your porch is going to smell like a wonderful fall candle kind of exploded, but like in a good way. Mm-hmm. And here's one a lot of people don't think of. Give the animals something else to focus on. You can set up a small bowl of birdseed or cracked corn kind of away from your porch to lure them elsewhere. It's like a decoy buffet, and this works especially well if you live near the woods or the water. And if you tried all of it and they're still treating your front porch steps like a pumpkin patch picnic, don't stress. Switch to the artificial decor. Light your porch up with lanterns and mums and fall wreaths. No calories for the critters and zero cleanup for you. So remember, whether it's a DIY spray, a clever decoy, or just a shift in how you style your display, you've got a lot of options for keeping your fall decor intact. With a little effort, you can enjoy all the beauty of the season without hosting a squirrel-sized dinner party, although that is something I would like to see.
It would be cute, wouldn't it?
It would be really cute. All right, let's get back to you guys. Jim, who do we have next?
Leslie, we've got Marcy on the line, and she's about to sell her house. She's looking for some ideas to get a little ROI there, so maybe you can help her out. What's going on, Marcy?
I have a house that I have to sell, and the drywall in the ceiling of the garage needs to be replaced. Do you think that I should do that prior to putting it on the market? Is it that important?
All right. Well, Marcy, when you have a project like that, and here you're talking about the garage ceiling needing to be replaced, you know what has to be done, or maybe you think personally it has to be done, but that project might not be a priority for that potential buyer. So I would kind of just ask your real estate agent when you list the house whether or not you think that's a project that's going to hinder the sale or hinder, the amount that an offer is being made in. When it comes to garages, generally, they're kind of unfinished spaces. You kind of don't have to worry about it. They just serve a purpose for storage for the car. However, if the garage is attached to the house, which maybe yours is, that wall that's between the house and the garage, you want to make sure that that's properly insulated. You want to make sure that that's fire-rated drywall. And because it's more of an entry point, I would hope that that space would be a little bit more finished. I think it also depends on the condition of the rest of the house. Like, are we talking about everything is so beautifully finished and ready to go, but this space, the garage, needs some work? Then maybe I would invest in it. I would definitely, though, talk to your real estate professional and just say, like, hey, what's a good idea here? I know the real estate agents in our area, just because there is such a high demand that they don't always have to do so much to the homes, but they're always willing to say, here's a list of things that you could and should be doing to make the house more sellable or fetch a higher bid. So I would just trust the pro here who knows your area and see what they say. I mean, good luck with the sale. This market's bananas. I'm sure you're going to do great. Well, as temperatures drop and heating systems fire up, now is the perfect time to test your smoke and CO detectors. Why now? Because fall and winter are when we start using the fireplace, the furnace, the space heaters, pretty much anything that can potentially create carbon monoxide or increase a fire risk. So go around your house, press those test buttons, change the batteries, even if they're not dead yet. It is an easy reset. And if your detectors are over 10 years old, replace them entirely. Those newer models even have built-in 10-year batteries, which is one less thing to worry about. And here's a pro tip. Place a CO detector near your furnace or your boiler, but also outside of sleeping areas. Carbon monoxide is odorless and deadly, so you want that early warning. It's a small step that can literally save lives. Well, there's something about the fall season that makes us want to nest, fix up the house, prep for winter, check a few projects off the list before the cold hits, and unfortunately, scammers know this too. According to the Better Business Bureau, fall is a busy season for home improvement scams, and they're getting more sophisticated. Now, these cons are now ranked among the top 5 riskiest scams for consumers, with a median loss of $1,800 per household.
Wow.
That's a lot of money. So let's talk about the red flags to watch out for, the types of scams on the rise, and how to avoid falling victim while still getting your projects done right. So here's how these scammers typically work. They're going to show up unannounced. They're knocking on your door. They're leaving a flyer. They immediately point out a problem to you, like, oh, there's a roof leak or a chimney crack, without really doing an inspection. And they'll claim that they have leftover materials from a job nearby, and they can offer you a great deal. And that deal, well, it sounds almost too good to be true, and spoiler, it is. Now, they're going to ask for cash or checks only. They're going to offer a vague guarantee and want to start that job like immediately. It's sort of this urgency, the lack of documentation, and the cash-only payment. Those are all major red flags. And here's the most common scams that we've heard circulating this season. Chimney and roof repairs. Scammers are posing as chimney sweeps, and they might scare you with talk of a dangerous crack or a leak. They're going to pressure you to authorize expensive repairs on the spot. Fake energy audits or furnace checkups. Somebody's going to show up claiming to be from your local utility company and offer you a free inspection, and they recommend upgrades that you don't need, or worse, use the visit to sort of case your house, to come back and rob it. Now, the next one is gutter cleaning. These scammers often target seniors or homeowners who can't access the gutters themselves, and they sort of quote a super low price, and then they either don't finish the job or they intentionally create damage to charge more later. Ductwork cleaning. Now, this one's tricky. Most homes don't need frequent duct cleaning, but scammers may charge you for work that you don't need, or worse, damage your system and create new problems to fix. So here's what the Better Business Bureau recommends to protect your home and your wallet. They want you to ask for references and actually call them. Ask about quality, cleanup, timeliness. Get multiple bids. Don't go with that first offer, no matter how convincing they sound. Insist on a written contract. You want to make sure it includes scope of work, materials, cost, timeline, and warranty info. Do not pay up front. Only make that final payment after the work is 100% done and you're satisfied. Use trusted sources. So check Better Business Bureau ratings or use their free Get a Quote service to find verified contractors. And report the scams. If you've been approached or scammed, share it with the Better Business Bureau scam tracker so that others can be warned. So as you plan your fall projects, whether it's a chimney maintenance or a furnace tune-up or even gutter cleaning, do your homework before you hire anyone. And remember, the best way to stop a scam is to spot it before it starts. All good tips. I've just been seeing so much more of it on the social media. And a lot of it has been also like, oh, somebody showed up with a truck with frozen meat and they have to sell X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, that's not good either. So anybody who's coming to your door unsolicited, it's sort of a red flag.
The new Popeyes and Hot Ones menu is fire flavor. Trust me because I'm about to eat it. Woo! That hits right away. Attempt the Popeyes Hot Ones menu in stores. Love that chicken from Popeyes. Limited time in participating U.S. restaurants.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
And it's time now for Jim's favorite part of the hour, checking out the email inbox. Jim, are you the type of person whose phone shows like 47 million zillion emails because you never delete any, or does it say like 2?
No, I delete them, but I don't, because of business, I don't have spam filters. So I literally get 300 to 400 pieces of email a day.
I do too, but I also delete. My friend Liz, her inbox shows like 45,000 and I want to throw her phone away. Let's pick a good one here. One we're not deleting.
All right, here. It looks like Will reached out to us, and he says, it's a pretty good question, actually. He's saying, I want to add insulation beneath the attic floor, but I'd have to pull the attic floor up to do so. Now, how will this affect my second floor ceiling? I'm worried about that ceiling beneath. It's being protected by the attic floor.
Well, I mean, it's sort of, in a sense, that's the way it would be constructed, is the floor of the attic would be, let's assume it's plywood, and then under the plywood you have the joists. Now, they would typically be ceiling joists, which means they're not really designed to hold a lot of weight. And on the other side of the ceiling joist would be the drywall. And so in between all of that is the insulation. And if that's the case, I can tell you right now that you definitely don't have enough because, frankly, there isn't enough space between the ceiling joists. I mean, 2x8 is probably the average size. And I would say you're probably talking about needing 19 inches of insulation to do a really decent job. So here's what I would do. And this is an easy project to do. You're going to have to give up a little bit of storage space to do it, but I would just add more insulation. You could lay unfaced bats on top of what's there already on the attic floor. So just start stacking them up, lay them side by side, edge to edge, unfaced. Remember, no vapor barrier. Then if you do need, you could have some space for storage. You just kind of have to need to carve that space out and don't double up the insulation there. But this way you'll have more insulation in most of the attic, especially along those exterior walls, and you'll get that value of having the insulation, but you won't have to tear up the floor and go through all of that. All right? I hope that helps you out. What do you got next, Jimmy?
We got about a minute left. I'm going to try to see if we can get through this one, Leslie. We've got Stan in Ohio who writes, my wood garage door does not seal when it's down. Anytime it rains or snows, water comes under the door. Part of the problem is that the floor is sloped and doesn't allow for a complete seal. Is there any way to fix this without buying a new door or replacing the floor?
Well, the good news is that you have a wood door, and a wood door means you can cut it. And so what you want to do is bring it down, and you're going to want to draw a line parallel with the angle of the floor. So if you have to end up taking an inch or so off of the door, no big deal. But once you have it equal with that floor, then you could put a new seal on the bottom of the door. And when it comes down, it's going to seal evenly and completely across that floor. And that should keep out the weather. All right, Stan? That should definitely help you out, and that should keep the garage nice and dry for this upcoming winter season, which is really what we want, a nice dry garage. That's all for this week's episode of The Money Pit. We kick things off by breaking down mold versus mildew because knowing what you're looking at can save you from major damage and even health risks. If it's fuzzy, smelly, and spreading, don't wait. Take action. Then we shared how to protect your pumpkins and porch decor from critters who think fall decorating is just a fancy buffet. From DIY sprays to fake-out decoys, you've got plenty of ways to keep your display festive and intact. And finally, a warning from the Better Business Bureau. Fall is prime time for home improvement scams, so be cautious of anyone who shows up unannounced, pushes for cash, or promises a deal that sounds too good to be true. For more information on everything that we covered this hour, head on over to moneypit.com. And remember, guys, you can do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. We'll see you next time.
On the Money Pit Radio Show. On the Money Pit Radio Show. Pick up the telephone, fix up your home sweet home by calling 888 Money Pit. Woo!